hands align. In red and white they always shine. With every pass it feels divine. Arsenal's on my mind. From hybrid days to Emirates grand, each match a symphony perfectly planned. With every goal we take our stand. Arsenal's on my mind.
Welcome back, guys, to the Arsenal on My Mind podcast. We've been gone for a long time, as usual. It is me, Spike, and Sekijay. What's up, Sekijay? Welcome back.
Hey guys, thanks for nice to be back. Sorry for the break in transmission, but great to be back. Ready to pour out everything. A lot has happened since we've been gone, and yeah, we're gonna get right to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, guys, again, we're glad to be back. We've been keeping up with Arsenal, of course, watching all the games, talking to each other, obviously, while Sekijay was traveling the world. And, we're going to just, get right into it and talk about, Arsenal and all things Arsenal as things have been going. I mean, we're in kind of a rut right now, man, I mean, we haven't won a game in how many? Like in the last 4 games?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. We've kind of fallen off the title challenge, as people put it. It's been tough times at Arsenal. The good thing is we're not like losing every game, but we're also
We're just not winning.
we're not winning, and we're not looking like winning. That's what bothers me the most. We're not. I mean, I think we've scored what, 1 goal a game since the last game, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not looking like yeah, I mean we're not looking. We had Liverpool, I guess we won in the Carabao Cup or whatever, scored 3 goals there, won every ball out there, but lost to Newcastle, lost to Inter, and then draw with Chelsea, right? All 1 goal games, except the Liverpool game, I guess was 2 goals, but we're just not looking very good. I mean, what are you thinking, man?
Well, I think the biggest factor is we've been missing Odegaard.
We've been
Not
missing
just
him
because.
for when we were in good form too, but I guess it's
Well, we were just riding at that point. We are riding the form, riding the
Mhm.
wave, you
Yeah.
know. But when it got down to it, it was obvious that we're missing, the soul of the team,
Hmm.
the captain, the galvanizer. I mean, look at what he did in the Chelsea game. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, apart from the fact that he's the most creative player on the team.
Hmm.
I mean, just given the pass he gave to Martinelli for that goal, you know.
Hmm.
So it's been tough. Then also the injury problems, we cannot discount that.
That's
We've
true.
been very unlucky this season with injuries uh,
Hmm.
uh, to key players that we're trying to get integrated into this new system. So that's kind of thrown the system off.
Hmm.
So it's been a brutal start to the season. And we're all panicking because Liverpool is doing so well.
Hmm.
But if we look at who we are actually chasing, City, we're just 5 points behind them.
Well,
Even
we
with the,
can't just say we're chasing City. We're chasing whoever's on top.
no, I'm just saying who traditionally we've been chasing the past 3 seasons as
Right.
Man City. You know,
Right. No, I mean, to that point, right? I'm not panicking about our form because I don't think City's panicking. Their form is arguably worse than our form right now.
absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
they've lost all 4 games, right? We've had draws and 1-0 losses and things like that. And so I'm not panicking about it, but I do think what I said early on in one of our earlier episodes still rings true today. City is gettable this season. I think I said that before.
Yeah,
Gettable.
that's obvious.
Hmm.
I mean, with no Rodri, we saw signs of that
And
last season.
still, even with the raw, I mean, they're not being beaten by Man U and Chelsea and Liverpool and Arsenal. They're being beaten by teams that, if your excuse is that you don't have Rodri, then you got a big problem. You know, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
yeah.
but you have to understand that teams like Bournemouth can beat City this week. Next week they'll play Liverpool and win.
Well, they
So
did. I mean,
exactly.
they beat us, and then they beat and then they beat Man City, right? I mean, in our game was a little bit different. I guess that was a different game than the Man City one. Um, because that was the game got a red card, right?
No, you're not getting me. I said City can lose to Bournemouth today,
Mm-hmm.
and City will play Liverpool tomorrow and win. So
True.
the point I'm trying to make is,
Mm-hmm.
you it's obvious that they too have injury problems. I'm not focused on City. You
Right.
know, they have injury problems and all that. We have our injury problems. We're missing key players. We've had very tough starts to the season.
True. True.
A lot
Mm-hmm.
of tough away games. You know, we overachieved. You know, winning those first early games without Odegaard. I mean, you and I, we overachieved.
Well, but I mean,
That's,
see, okay, you're right, right? But I don't like the fact that's the case, right? Why
yeah,
is
well,
we can miss
that boils down to the transfer window. We did not bolster the squad the way we should have,
we
and
diminished
now,
the squad at least in Odegaard's position, and
correct.
I
Look at
think
Smith Rowe now; is balling.
he's balling, and without me saying, okay, we should have kept Smith Rowe or anything. I mean, that's secondary to the fact that if indeed Mikel goes, I don't need Smith Rowe. I don't need Vieira because I have this kid Waneri. He still didn't play Waneri enough, Like you didn't thrust him upon, put him on the stage to really ball out in the Premier League.
Yeah.
No single start in Premier League. He got his only start against Preston last week, in the Carabao Cup. I'm not saying that we need to put our weight on a young kid like that, but it just, like it was short-sighted to say, okay, we're going to sell Smith Rowe and sell Vieira on loan, right? And we have this young kid who we know is so good. But like when the opportunity presented itself for you to give the kid a chance, mainly because we needed the spark. I'm not saying that Waneri is a playmaker of supreme proportions. He's not JJ Okocha, right? But like let him
I mean,
play.
the kid that he can be the spark every time he comes on the field.
Yes, he sparks up the game in a different way than Odegaard does, which is great, because he runs at you, right? He runs with the ball, he keeps the ball as a ball carrier. That's great. So I'm disappointed in Mikel. It's like one thing to say you're short because you don't have the bodies, but then it's like you didn't try everything. You didn't do all that you could to give us that spark. You kept toying with this Trossard in midfield, going with the three CDMs, the three defensive-minded midfielders against Bournemouth, with Marino as well. And it's just, there was a lot of opportunity to really give this kid a chance because I'm jealous, right, of all other teams that like seem to throw caution to the wind when they start their youngsters. you know, Mikel has probably been so conservative in that respect.
He's super conservative. It's
Super.
obvious,
Yes.
and I think I said in one of our episodes, I've already accepted my fate with Mikel Arteta.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Slot wins the league this season,
I'll be pissed.
then Mikel Arteta he's either he has to go,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean we've given him 5 seasons now.
Yep.
You know, he's telling us to trust the process and give. I mean, granted, Slot inherited a title-winning team already.
On paper.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but Arteta did not.
Mm-hmm.
So Arteta inherited a club in shambles.
Mm-hmm.
Slot did not inherit a club in shambles. I mean, Slot inherited a club that was already gunning for the league anyway. You
Right,
know,
right. And
and I'm trying to give cut Arteta some slack there, but at the
Mhm.
same time, some of his decision making, some of his conservativeness, some of the non-action, in the transfer windows is beginning to tell now.
Mhm.
It's beginning to tell now. Yes, we've been unlucky 2 seasons straight. Get a new signing, and they get injured. It happened to Timber, happened to Merino, Calafiori too. So yes, we've been unlucky at that on that. But at the same time, if you are trying to win the Premier League, you have to have quality backups that can step in and
Mhm.
do the job.
Right.
Our form has been terrible. Well, not terrible, but our form has been patchy. It's not been a title challenging form so far.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that we've played 11 games now in the Premier League. We've dropped points in 6 straight games.
Hmm.
That is not good enough. You
No,
know,
it's not. Mm-mm.
yeah, that's not good enough now, the last game against Chelsea, which was
Mhm.
yesterday,
Right.
we were looking more like our old selves. You know,
Yes.
we're
It was.
looking the system was looking more balanced.
Hmm.
We were looking harder to score against than the past few games.
Okay.
I mean, NATO scored a great goal, you know,
Yes, but we'll get
but
to that. But
yeah,
yeah. Hmm.
but I watched that game and I was like, okay, we're looking a little bit somewhat like our old selves, and that's a big part that because Odegaard is back,
Of
you know,
course. And
you know,
I was surprised he played 90 minutes.
yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
he looks really sharp. He looked in great shape, you
Hmm.
know. And I'm happy with I think for the first time, I think this 2 weeks break is going to favor us,
Exactly. I was going to
because
say it's a good
yeah,
time
yeah,
for
it's
the
a good time.
international break for us now.
If you're a Liverpool fan, you will not be happy about the break.
Hmm.
But if you're an Arsenal fan
Or a
and
Man City fan.
or a City fan, you'll be happy about the break right now. You
Hmm.
know, guys like Saka will rest because he withdrew from the team,
Hmm.
the national team. Rice withdrew.
Hmm.
So that's good. I think Odegaard too withdrew from the
He's
team.
not even he wasn't even called up because we
Perfect.
knew he was going to be fit already at this point, I guess, from an international standpoint. But they didn't call him up, which was great. You know.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So this gives us a time to reset.
Hmm.
And if I know Ateta very well, they are still going to be training.
No, of course they
You know,
will. They always do, I think, during international break. Because not every player,
exactly. The
gets called up.
players that So this would be a good, I like Havertz up front. I like him up front.
Hmm.
I like the fight he showed. It was obvious that he really wanted to hurt Chelsea. You
Hmm.
know, and
But he was at fault for the goal.
he was at fault for the goal. He was
Hmm.
lazy. He
Hmm.
let Nato creep in behind him. You know,
Easily, and then just kind
yes,
of stood there. Yeah.
yes, he was at fault. But apart from that, I liked him throughout the game. You see that focal point up front is very important. And Martinelli's form. Is looking somewhat like his old self.
Hmm.
At least his scoring goals that he would have missed a few weeks ago.
True.
With that Chelsea goal. And I think Odegaard would also unlock players like Martinelli, because look at it, was Odegaard that found him.
Hmm.
You know, our Trossard might not have that vision, and I really liked Merino when he came on.
Dude, I like Marino a lot.
Yeah, I liked him when he came on.
He is
He's a
proving to
very good,
be.
yeah,
He's
he's a good
reminding
ball
me of
playing,
Ramsey.
yeah, he's a very good ball playing midfielder,
Yep,
and
and he.
I think that will also help Martinelli.
Hmm.
That will unlock Martinelli. I mean, our left side, when Calafiori comes back in, um, the combination of Calafiori and Merino would unlock Martinelli.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Big time.
I think Marino is really good at arriving late in the box or just getting into the box.
Correct.
No,
And I love Ben White, but I think Timber is going to be our right back. He's a
I
better player.
think that's been the case,
Yeah.
all season
Yeah.
long.
Ben White is going to be back up to Saliba. You know, uh,
Yeah.
basically. And that brings me to my earlier point. Yes, our form has been patchy.
Hmm.
Yes, we've had um a lot of we've been unlucky with refereeing, and some calls and all that.
Hmm.
Um, but in Arteta's defense, this what I can see what he's trying to do, but he's not had the personnel readily available to do that.
Hmm.
Because now he has strengthened. Our right side was kicking last season, left side was not, but now his left side is looking really good with Calafiori, Merino,
Hmm.
and Martinelli is just going to run a wire, because now Martinelli will not be required to do a lot of defensive work,
Right. And but
because
he's good at it though. He's good at tracking back, and that's
yes, but now he can conserve that energy to go forward even more,
yeah.
and because between Merino and Calafiori, I don't think you're going to be passing that midfield, that left side, it's not going to be friendly. the right side too is not going to be friendly either.
So, I
Between
mean, in this proposed lineup you're talking about, then who's on the bench between Rice and Partey?
Partey.
Partey
But
has been
but
better
but
than Rice this
Rice
season.
Rice has been Rice has been a little bit frustrating
Yeah,
lately.
there's
You know,
something
but
about his role this season that is not the same as last season. I don't like.
but I think he's playing with an injury.
Well,
You
he
know,
is now, but not
yeah,
always. Not the whole
yeah,
season, you know.
yeah. Well, with the earlier games, he was still trying to figure out Merino and all that, but
Mhm.
and Partey. But I think Rice and Partey, our midfield between Rice, Partey, and Merino, I think we're good.
No,
You
no, of
know,
course we're good. I'm just saying, obviously with Odegaard back,
yeah.
right?
But with this
Only
system,
playing two of those three.
with the system I'm talking about, is going to be Partey and Rice would alternate.
Okay.
So they'll fight for the position. In fact, all three of them will fight for the position because all three of them can play either position.
Hmm.
Either left or right midfield. You
Yep.
know, so I can see what Mateta is trying to do. We've been unlucky. I still think we're in the title challenge.
Hmm.
I still think so. Yeah, I don't trust Liverpool is going to keep maintain this form all season.
Hmm.
And if they do, then they deserve to win the league.
Of
You
course,
know,
of course.
I mean, we've not lost, we've not been blown out. We've lost 1-0 or
Hmm.
drawn away against tough teams. I believe by the time we get back from the international break, it's time now to kick up and start the run.
I'm going
You know,
around. I mean, of
you
course,
know.
I agree. I agree. I don't think we're out of the title race. If we had lost to Chelsea, I wouldn't say we're completely out, but I'll be less optimistic, you know?
Mhm.
Um, I would say, of our losses recently, or only two losses really, well, if you count Champions League three, Bournemouth had a red card, so we lost there, right? Then Inter was just the referee was just unbelievable with that penalty he gave to Inter Milan. We dominated them, right? And then they get a penalty. I mean, what? Anyways, stupid. And then the only true loss in there was against Newcastle. And that
Yeah.
pissed me off because Newcastle largely are the same team from last year. I mean, I don't
Hmm.
even know who they bought, besides a defender here or there, And I remember that game last season, the reverse last season was when I really knew how devastating Arsenal could be when we tore them to shreds.
Hmm.
So yeah, we didn't have the same personnel this time around, but I just don't think the team was, I don't want to say motivated because I'm sure they're all plenty motivated, but that Newcastle game was just, we just never looked like we wanted to win the game. It was just
Correct.
Mhm.
And I think something is going on in the background, especially with Edu's departing.
Mhm.
Um, I, I personally I smell a rat. You know,
Hmm.
uh, I don't think Edu. I think something happened, and I'm hearing rumors that there was a fallout between Edu and Ateta. You
Hmm.
know,
Well,
um,
I mean, I heard that. So there was a rumor that came out about a month or 2 months ago, maybe, about this group wanting to hire Edu.
yes,
Right. So I don't know if what you're thinking about as a fallout happened around that time. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it would be sad because it seemed like they work really well together.
yeah. You never know what really goes on in the background, but the way he's just left unceremoniously, um,
In the
you know,
middle, I know that was weird.
middle of the season is
I was just asking you before the pod, if he's leaving at the end of the season, if he's left. I mean, he's left already, which is like
left already.
really odd.
Yeah, so that's odd. A former Arsenal player,
Mhm.
legend, doing a great job as a director of football,
Mhm.
sporting director, of Arsenal, and just leaves right that like that's it's not even the middle of the season yet.
Mhm.
So there's something going on in the back room. But well. This is a good opportunity for Santi to step right up. Santi,
Santi is still playing, isn't he?
no, he's retired
Yes.
now.
No, I swear to God. I think
We'll retire him right now. He come be our director of
well, I don't
football.
know if that's his MO or whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I think, to me, a very interesting potential would be to give it to Wenger.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yes, but I don't quite agree with that. You
Mm-hmm.
know why? Um, we need to move on. You know,
Well, on,
Wenger is going to loom large over Arteta, and
Okay.
and that might distract Arteta and the team.
Maybe just
So
wishful
I don't think,
thinking.
yeah, I don't think Wenger will be a good fit. He's too much of a legend. I mean, he has a statue of him. Every day Arteta comes to work, he'll drive by Wenger's statue, and have to go answer to Wenger in the
Hmm.
office. I don't think he's gonna like that. Dennis Beckham is another good prospect.
Yeah, but he has hands full with his Inter Miami things going on.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, not David Beckham.
Oh, Dennis then.
Yeah,
But
not David Beckham.
you
Why
said
are we
David
gonna get?
Beckham.
No, I said Dennis Beckham. Why are we gonna get a Manchester United legend?
I swear you
No,
said the
no
David Beckham.
way. No, no, no. He's,
When I
he's
edit
just
this
gonna
pod, I'll let
he's
you know
gonna
what you
come
said.
he's gonna come wreck our squad. But yeah, I think Edu leaving. I think also, but I'm still very much optimistic about the future of Arsenal.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm still excited.
Edu. I mean, talk about Edu. I mean, his legacy would be of really changing the culture of the kind of players who were signing.
Correct.
You know, I mean, he's pretty much responsible for the entire first team squad we have now. You know,
Correct. Apart from
um,
Saka.
he's had a really good record of signing players. Saka was not a signing, so that's not his doing. But so I mean, I think he leaves, regardless of how he's leaving right now, he leaves having known that he did a good job at Arsenal, and has really set us up for success, right? And the only thing I would say is whoever we hire to replace him, I don't know enough people in that space to say who I want or wish list or whatever, but I would just, because of how Edu has guided us through this quote unquote rebuilding phase,
Mhm.
I think now we need a more aggressive um, uh, director of football now.
Correct.
Like, so
Correct.
We know Edu was conservative in a way,
Correct.
Me and you have complained till tomorrow, about how slow our transfers are. It's
Correct.
because I'm pretty sure that was an Edu thing. I mean, we've been slow with transfers at Arsenal historically, but in our own situation with Edu, he didn't ever pay too much for anybody. He always kind of kept his, with Mudrick, for instance, right? He refused to pay a penny more than what he
Mhm.
thought was, available. But I think Arsenal is now, our next phase now needs to be big boy stage, right? That's what we
Correct.
want. Pay the money, get them. You know?
Correct.
So we need a more aggressive director of football now.
Personality. Yeah.
Because I mean, when I think about it, right?
We need a more aggressive negotiator.
None of it, just someone who's just like, you know what? The team right now, no signing can pull us backwards anymore at this point,
Yeah.
right? You can go buy the worst attitude player in the world and bring him to Arsenal, and he
Yeah.
won't change, how we're
Actually,
doing right
we
now.
we need a less aggressive negotiator, someone that is willing to pay the money.
Right. Just that's what we want. Get him, right? Because, dude, watching that Chelsea game, I could not help but be like, man, Neto was supposed to be an Arsenal player. I mean, come on.
He's a good player.
I mean, and to your
And
point,
it seems like he hates Arsenal. So
I don't think he hates Arsenal. Why would you say that?
because he was playing his heart out, like
He's been playing well all season though for them. So it's not like again, it's his first goal, surprisingly, right, of the season. But he has been playing really well for Chelsea. I mean, he's the reason why. I mean, I'm not saying Mudrick is a ball.
I don't watch Chelsea games, so I don't
I
know.
don't
So.
watch Chelsea, but I watch, highlights
Ah,
about his game. I watch every team's highlights every
yeah,
week,
yeah,
and I even watch some games, if it's before Arsenal game or I watch, the one that shows all the games at once, So I watch it all, and he's been Chelsea's best player besides Palmer this season,
mm.
and Caicedo. He's just there. He's been every game has been there, and he's an Arsenal kind of player. I'm surprised we didn't get him. I know Chelsea paid it, not too much, but they got him for a good deal, And then my wish list striker, I still think now Gyökeres is a striker that we should be getting, right? But then, so this
Any
guy,
striker that scores a hat trick against Man City in Champions League, we gotta get it.
right? So here's the interesting thing. Man U's new coach started today. I mean, he was Sporting's coach, obviously, and he said literally, "I am not bringing any Sporting players to Man City in January. We'll see in
To
summer."
Manchester United.
Yeah, what?
To Man U. You said
To
Man
Man
City.
U. Yeah. Oh, sorry, to Man U. And then he said literally, "We'll see in the summer." Right? I don't want to see in the summer. I want us to go get Gyökeres in January and avoid him going to Man U.
What's his release clause again?
I don't know. It's like 60 something million. It's
Pay that money.
Cheap.
Pay that money.
Pay the money.
Pay that money and get that. Just get him done. Get it done.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to work in our favor because um Ten Hag brought like half the Ajax team to Man U, and it didn't work. So I think Man U is going to be more cautious, letting Almiron bring in.
The thing is his Sporting team was just filled with youngsters. The only like outstanding player is Gyökeres. He wasn't. I mean, he's the highest valued player on the squad. He's a striker. Man U doesn't seem to know what to do about this. I mean, they bought 2 youngsters. So I don't think Man U would really buy him because they have Højlund and then they have Xerxes, back-to-back seasons. Are they going to go a third one and buy another striker? But that would be an aggressive move.
Honestly, the only team I expect should go big on a striker in January or in summer is Arsenal. We have no excuse. No excuse whatsoever. I mean, even Osimhen, look how Osimhen is having fun in Galatasaray.
And there was somebody, one of these legends on Sky Sports that did say something around. It was bashing on Arsenal and saying, "Are you trying to tell me that Arsenal could not pull off that deal that Gala did for Osimhen?"
No.
It's like, come on, why would? So that's my.
So it's probably a good thing that Edu has gone.
Because that would have been an Edu move to not do it.
Yeah. It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, and not gonna be wrong, Edu did a great job, but I think
he had hit his limits.
Not even just that. Besides Declan Rice, right? Declan Rice was the only player that we bought under Edu who was already at his peak. Maybe not his peak, but like who was heavily sought after.
Yeah, highly rated.
Yeah, I mean, you could say Calafiori was heavily sought after, but we all know nobody knew who Calafiori was 2 years ago. Like he came out the blue recently. Even Timber, we didn't know.
But Rice, we've been admiring Rice and dreaming of Rice for like 4 seasons now.
Exactly. So that's the only like big boy move we pulled off. In terms of like top expensive player, and we went and got.
Kai Havertz was a big boy move too.
No, that was a ripoff. We just ripped off Chelsea,
It was a cheap big boy move. Exactly. Because I'm telling you guys, man, Kai is the real deal.
I like Kai Havertz, but he's still. I mean, he's doing well as a striker, but he's not. You see what I mean, right? If you watch like Gyökeres or any of these top strikers right now, Osimhen, Sesko, those kind of guys. Havertz is a different kind of striker than them. In fact, he's a throwback to the Van Persie kind of strikers in a weird way. He's not a number 9, but he's in or around there, and he tracks back, and he's good in the air, But and he scored a goal against Chelsea, a legitimate goal that was a bit marginally offsides, right? So I get that. But my thing is, he's not a killer.
Yeah, he doesn't have the killer instincts.
Yeah, but he's always in the right positions, which is his biggest attribute. His movement is always on point. So I love it, but then the reason I'm thinking we need a striker besides just Havertz is, I mean, Jesus, man, I don't know what's going on with that guy.
No, we need to sell him. It's time
and I like Jesus.
It's time for him to move on.
I've been an advocate of Jesus, but there's something.
The team has
outgrown him and Zinchenko, it looks like.
Yeah, the team has left them behind.
Which is quite amazing considering that, those guys were the symbol of our comebackness with Mikel.
Well, Smith Rowe was a key player for us 3 seasons
Mhm.
ago.
Yeah.
Now
So
he's gone.
Mikel is ruthless like that.
I like that. You know,
Mhm.
the team has to progress.
Yeah.
If if Jesus and Zinchenko were still the main man at this point, I'll be worried.
Mm.
Because remember, they were Man City's rejects.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So at this point now, where it's a stage now where the team has moved on, the team has
Right.
progressed and
Mm-hmm.
left them. They gotta go. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they are still fantastic players. They're still they still their ages are still great.
Mm-hmm.
You
They're
know,
still under 30, yeah.
yeah. They can do the job in a different team.
Yeah.
Now we need to upgrade. We
I
need to
agree.
upgrade positions. We need to bring in a NATO kind of player when Saka is hobbling off.
Mm-hmm.
You I like the move we did with Sterling. We didn't buy him. He's got to go too. You
Yeah,
know,
because
he-
he hasn't showed me anything
nothing. So we are going to free up
except
that space.
that Bournemouth game. Right? That was a game where he started off really well, then we got the
Mhm.
red card, then they took him
Yeah,
off.
they
You
took
know?
him off.
That's the
You
best
know,
I've seen him play. But
yeah. So so this summer we still have to do a few clearing outs.
mhm,
Zinchenko, Jesus,
mhm,
Sterling will go back to
mhm.
his old his to back to Chelsea where he's coming from. You know, but between Zinchenko and Jesus, we should be able to raise at least 50 million, if not 60
I-
million.
no, I would think they're both 20 million players, both of them 20 million each
Okay,
is
40
probably
million.
yeah,
40 million.
yeah,
And slap on another 25 million and you get Gokeres
yeah, easy.
to
Easy.
activate his release clause. But let's not even wait till summer. Let's activate it now. Then make
Yes,
up the money later on.
yes, because the thing is,
Because you see, City, they are going to go buy Zubimendi now
City.
in January. Yeah, they are
Interesting to replace Rodri.
yeah, and you know those guys, they're going to do it.
That's
The
true.
first, the first day of the transfer window, they're going to do the signing, and that's it.
Yeah,
And the guy is already with them training.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I want us to be like that. I want us to be fast movers in the transfer market instead of waiting and I know
Yeah,
we have our targets. Anyways, uh, all in all, Edu has been great for us.
yeah,
I do think it's odd that he's leaving so kind of spur of the moment. So there could
yeah.
be something to what you're saying about the stories.
Well,
But
this is a shout out to Edu. Edu, thank you so much.
mhm,
You did a great job.
brought us
You're a
back.
you're a true Arsenal legend. You
Hmm.
even on the field and off the field. We love you. We wish you the best wherever you go, and hopefully, maybe we'll reunite in the future at some capacity. You come back to Arsenal.
Absolutely, Edu. Shout out to you. All right. So, I mean, we can do a quick ratings on Chelsea game if you want, or we can leave that off. I mean, I do have some ratings for like how I thought the team played, or we can just kind of, I
No,
mean,
let's do the ratings.
yeah,
I mean, our fans have missed us.
yeah. So let's do it all.
Yeah,
Guys, apologize. This is going to be a longer than usual pod, but when you're gone for 2.5 weeks, we need to hit you guys with a good content-filled episode for sure. But overall, I thought, the game against Chelsea, particularly, the team was okay. I mean, I know you said we played well, and I think we played okay. I was never fully I'm yet to get that feeling that we had last year, of like where we're just gonna like destroy teams. So maybe we'll get there after the break or later in the season. But for me, ratings wise, Raya I give a 7, had a good save, was really good commanding his box. Couldn't do anything about the goal. I mean, that was just, what it was, a really good strike by Neto. So 7 for him. Saliba and Gabriel, 7 each. Didn't do anything bad, didn't do anything amazing. I gave Timber a 7. I gave White a 6 because he had trouble with Neto. No kidding. And I imagine anyone would have had issue with Neto. But a 6 there, but he didn't do anything bad, really. Rice and Partey were average, to me, 6. Could have given Partey a 7, but I think 6 was probably fair. I give Odegaard a 7, and he's my player of the game, even though, it's his first game back. he really forget about the assist and forget about the passes. What I really loved about his game yesterday was his pressing. It's still there. I mean, that is such a rare combination, which is why we
Absolutely.
miss him so much. To have
Absolutely.
creativity, flair, and pressing, and the work rate.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal we scored was because he pressed the hell out of whoever the guy was that had the ball.
Mhm.
Um, I gave Martinelli a 7 because he got the goal. He didn't do anything really bad in the game. Um, Havertz, I gave a 6. It would have been a 7 if not for that, not tracking Neto for the goal. And Saka had probably his quietest game I've ever seen for Arsenal. Part of that, I imagine, was because Cucurella played really well,
Very well.
batting him down, locking him down, and and because of Neto, right, Ben White couldn't support him the way he normally does on the
Correct.
right there. So Saka was truly isolated, so he didn't play that well. I hope the injury is minor, but I gave him a 6 anyway. Off the bench, loved Marino's impact. Uh, he was just he was told apparently to come in and get a goal for Arsenal, and he tried. He got in there, he threw his body in. He's very comfortable on the ball, doesn't panic. Love that about him. Trossard, here's the issue that I have right now with Trossard, and this is maybe a symptom of Arsenal we're kind of dealing with right now. Him and Martinelli are never on form at the same time,
Never.
which is really crap, because like if we can get them both on form at the same time, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So he's been pretty poor past few games, and today he didn't do much off the bench. Jesus off the bench because Saka was injured. Again, didn't do much. For someone that we talked about as being a backup winger, I don't even see it anymore.
I don't see
So
it.
yeah, so I don't know, but I gave him a 5 as well. Him and Trossard off the bench, 5s each, and then Mikel I gave a 6 overall. Nothing bad. I just think I gave him a 6 because he had to rely so heavily on Odegaard. You know,
Right.
that's poor management. Because that's his first game back, and or second. He came off the bench in the last game in Champions League, but like you really had to run him 90 in the whole 90 minutes, without being you were afraid to take him off. It's what I feel like in a game like that. You feel like you don't have enough, and I cannot blame anybody else but you, coach, for that, for being afraid to take him out. But all in all,
So what do you give Mikel?
a 6. It wasn't terrible, wasn't terrible. And I just think it was a tight game. I thought we could have won. I thought this thing about Arsenal, and this is again ode to Edu again, right? I'm now the kind of Arsenal fan where I'm like, we could win every game we're playing. I could see the path to victory almost every game. Against Liverpool, I'm like, oh, we could have won that game easily. Against
Even
Chelsea.
Chelsea, they breathed a sigh of relief when that game ended.
Of course, and the chance we missed at the end, unbelievable. And Trossard missed a chance before that, then he missed this one. I mean, it wasn't but like we could have easily won that game. The only game that I can say we couldn't have easily won was
Newcastle.
Newcastle. They just beat us on the day, but they scored early. Maybe that threw us off. But anyways, that's my ratings. Sekijay, what's yours?
Well, mine with Raya, I gave him a 7.3. I mean, it was solid and comfortable. That goal, nothing he could do.
Mhm.
Ben White, I actually gave Ben White a 7, and I'll tell you why. Ben White had two battles he had to deal with. He had to deal with Gusto,
Mhm.
and he had to deal with what's his name?
Neto.
Neto. You
Mhm.
know, um, he also he gave Gusto a yellow.
Mhm.
Um, Neto gave him a yellow. Gusto also gave him a yellow card. You
Mhm.
know, Neto he shut Neto down. Neto had to switch to the other wing to score.
Mhm.
You know, he scored from the other wing, not from Ben White's
No,
goal.
you're right. You're right. Yeah.
So that because of that, I give Timber a 6.5
Okay.
because he actually came in from Timber's wing
Mhm.
because he wasn't getting any luck with Ben White. White did very well actually. Saliba had a 7, Gabriel 7, Odegaard I give him a 7.5. Um, yeah, Partey 6, Rice a 6. Rice was actually very frustrating to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was I was super disappointed in Declan Rice in that game.
Yeah, I mean, let's chalk it up to the broken toe. It's not easy to play through pain and
Yes,
Jackson.
yes. I want to believe he's playing with an injury.
No,
You
he
know,
is. No, he is.
Saka, a 6. Yeah, a 6 was a quiet game for him. Havertz almost a 7, not a 7, almost because he he was lazy in tracking down NATO.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we considered that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Martinelli, I gave him a 7.5 because he was energetic and he got the goal. Should have even started. I thought Merino should have started the game. So he did well there. Trossard and Jesus 6. I didn't see anything they did. Um, the coach, I gave him a 7. Because he did everything. The team selection was right. We were just unlucky not to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my rating. Um, the boys have 2 weeks now to rest.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is if we don't have any setback, by the time we come back from international break, it's going to be a clean bill. They're all going to be back.
That's true.
Calafiori,
True.
everybody,
Fury,
everybody's going to be back.
Tomiyasu even.
Tommy is back, and I can tell you, Saka not injured. Saka, that was a perfect time to, not go to the England squad. So it's like perfect. Sub me out. I'm going to leap off. For 2 weeks, I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to be fine. I'm excited because I think now our season is about to start. You know, I think the season is really about to start now. So we need to come back in 2 weeks and go to Nottingham Forest and do the job there. Because those guys they're riding high. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they got humbled a bit by Newcastle, which was good.
Right.
But we need to humble them
To peg
and
them, knocking on a few pegs, let them know
yeah,
that yeah, no.
kick off from there. But I think the squad is looking good. I'm happy that everybody's going to be back, and I'm happy with the 2 weeks break.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I'm happy with the
another better job.
performance. With the performance we put in just before the break, that's something that we can build on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I think this break is going to be perfect for us to kind of take a breath, regroup, get fitter, get healthier. Can only be a good thing for us to have
Yep,
this break right now. But I do think coming out the break, we have to hit that. And late November into December is a busy time period, for games, with all the Christmas games and so forth. So we just have to just go on a win streak and close that gap to Liverpool. Um,
absolutely.
I mean, I saw kind of sign off here. I saw a post that said, I don't know who posted it, but it said it will be so Arsenal to not win the league the one season that Man City doesn't want to win it either.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I know.
So Man City, I mean, to me, I'd like to give a shout out to my curse. It's moved from Holland to the team now. So the
Yeah.
juju is strong. Holland didn't score for a while, but then now, and you know what? That be humble thing, I have to go back to it, but the entire sports world remembers that thing because I saw Men in Blazers posted it after this game. Be humble, eh?
No, if City don't win, if they don't win the league and Arsenal wins it, we're making a shirt in this pod. Be
Mhm.
humble,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be Saliba carrying baby Haaland, and under will be humble.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, guys, it's great for us to be back. We hope we didn't keep you guys waiting too long. We hope you all still interact, watch, like, subscribe, share. You know,
Yes.
We're back. We're gonna, go back on our regular cadence. Getting a pod, after every game that we have. We're gonna try and do some in-person pods again, to avoid some of the
Yes.
technical issues we've been having today, with the virtual ones. But other than that, guys, we appreciate all your support, and as always, keep Arsenal
Keep Arsenal in your mind.
in mind.
And I'll be in Madrid when we get back. In 2 weeks, I'll be in Madrid. So I should be watching the Nottingham Forest game in Madrid. So
Okay.
we'll be doing our pod from Madrid.
All right, excellent. All right, guys, signing off.
Peace.
Under floodlights build the fans align. In red and white they always shine. With every pass it feels divine. Arsenal's on my mind. From hybrid days to Emirates grand, each match a symphony perfectly planned. With every goal we take our stand. Arsenal's on my mind. Oh Arsenal, you never fail. Through rain and sun our steadfast sail.